All right. So today we have Yasmine Bassil. She is a graduate student at Emory University. Welcome.
Hello.
And so we got a couple questions for you, some science questions, and then some fun questions at the end just to get to know you a little bit better. So first question,
Nice.
what year are you in your graduate program?
Yeah, I'm a first year neuroscience PhD student at Emory University.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
what does that entail as a first year? What do you do on a daily basis? What are your requirements?
Yeah, great questions. So our first year experience actually looks a little bit different with the recent pandemic. And so I actually started in August, and the program was actually all online for the first semester and actually for this semester for a lot of different things. And so the typical experience is usually a graduate student would take classes and would also simultaneously do research rotations. However, because of everything that's been happening this past year, the program decided to postpone rotations until the spring semester. And so what the fall looked like was that graduates, we'd take grad student classes about neuroscience, specifically neuroanatomy and systems neuroscience. And then this semester, we actually just started on research rotations. So rotating in three different labs, three different neuroscience labs at Emory or at Georgia Tech, or even there are some at GSU. So really cool collaborative stuff in the Atlanta area. So my typical day is classes in the morning and then rotating with currently I'm rotating with Dr. Shella Kyle-Holtz at Emory University, and then doing fun things on the side, like just science outreach and science communication.
Okay, great. Speaking of your research experience currently, what are you researching? What are you studying? What kind of methods are you using?
Yeah, great question. So I'm really interested in computational neuroscience and neuroimaging. So specifically looking at using the methods would include functional MRI and MRI in general. I'm really interested in using fMRI to understand functional connectivity more and using computational neuroscience methods to look at all that. So definitely also interested in the computational neuroscience work and how that interacts with human brain mapping initiatives. So there are a ton of different global human brain mapping initiatives that I've also been interested in. And so that kind of collectively forms just my broad general research interest. Yeah.
That's great. That sounds like a ton of opportunities there for you. And
Yeah.
one thing we've been picking up through all these interviews is that neuroscience has a lot of different subfields and a lot of different types of science that contribute to the field of neuroscience overall. And so here we have someone like yourself who has computational skills more on the mathy side, if you will, but you're also doing experiments with humans and looking at the brain activity of humans. And so what's great is that depending on what you liked in high school or in undergrad, you could draw on those skills and put them together for neuroscience research, which I think is more unique in this field, I think, than other fields. So
yeah, absolutely. And computational neuroscience also is definitely not something that you get thrown into when you first learn about neuroscience. I think there are so many, exactly what you said, so many different fields and so many different ways to approach neuroscience that it's so broad. There's really room for so many things and room for everyone. Yeah, and I'm definitely interested in and learning more about computational neuroscience. And my goal in graduate school is to be a computational neuroscientist at the end. But right now I'm still learning. So.
Cool. That has a nice ring to it. What was your undergraduate major?
Oh yeah, so I did my undergrad at Georgia Tech, and I actually was a neuroscience major there, which is a really interesting story as well. The neuroscience major had just been created when I joined it. I actually came to Georgia Tech knowing that they were in the process of creating it and just joined it as soon as it opened up. And so I was part of the first cohort that graduated with the with BS in neuroscience from Tech. So super cool experience. I definitely really loved it.
Cool, that's excellent. You're an Atlanta-bound person, at least recently.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. Been here for a while.
Atlanta brain baby.
I love Atlanta. Yeah. Oh,
exactly. Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite brain or neuroscience fact?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I remember I taught at some middle schools and high schools just like randomly as a part of the SSN Brain Initiative, Brain Awareness Month. And so I remember one of my favorite facts to teach during the Brain Awareness Month presentations is that apparently if you line up all of the neurons in your brain and just have all of the neurons lined up, the axons can wrap the earth like 4 or 5 times. It's something wild like
it's
that.
that long. Wow. And there's that many.
Yeah. And that really shocked me because I knew we had, billions, just so many neurons in the brain. But I never really, like, putting it into real life terms, really conceptualized it and like made it really more clear how much we have going on in the brain. Yeah, it was really wild for me. I barely even believed it. And so telling the kids that I was teaching, that was super cool.
That's a cool fact. Okay, I think it's the best one so far, but don't tell anybody else. Okay, how about yourself? Do you have any pets?
Pets. Oh my gosh, I wish. I love dogs. I don't have pets currently. My roommate fosters dogs, and so we just said goodbye to our cute little Fargo. We had a dog named Fargo. He was adorable. But yeah, so I don't have any, but there'll be some dogs in the house at some point that my roommate decides to foster.
Gotcha. Well, you kind of get to sample different types of dogs in some sense, but it is sad when you have to probably break that bond that you made. Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, and then final fun question: what is your favorite musical artist and/or genre?
My favorite artist, her name is Joy Crooks.
Okay.
She's really cool. She makes really groovy, like fun, interesting music. She's not huge in the States. I think she's bigger in the UK. And she's part Irish, part Bangladeshi. So very cool cultural history as well, like cool background. And she talks about a lot of cultural struggles that she has that I can relate to. And just she makes some really cool music. Yeah, definitely relatable and definitely super enjoyable.
Would you describe it as like electronic dance music, or?
I think it's, I don't even know how to describe music. I think probably indie, alt, jazz.
Oh wow. Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
That's
probably
great.
more indie or alt.
I between you and others, I have new things to put on my playlist.
Yeah.
For sure, so
Yeah.
I'm enjoying this, I think, way more than I should be, but
you should be enjoying it.
Yeah, so that's great. All right, well, thank you for your time. Thank you also. You just recently came out of an instructional session for the Atlanta Brain Bee workshop, and that is a preparatory, basically system of classes we have set up for getting the competitors ready for the competition. So it's kind of like a brain boot camp. And so we thank you very much for volunteering to do that. And we'd also like to thank you for your time just now for this interview. This has been Yasmine Bassil, and thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.